Monday night, OCR TV, proud to bring you the 3 Wide Racing League Cold Hard Art Cup Series action from Milwaukee. The 1 mile oval. It's flat. It's nasty. It's tiny on the straightaways. Speaking of tiny, your commentators tonight, Matt Kingston, Thomas Morris, Trey Landry. Gentlemen, hello.
I'm just glad the producer said Matt first after Tiny.
No kidding.
Nailed it.
Those tiny
Oh,
hands, like Eric.
Yes.
So flat tracking should be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Flat tracking and playoff race #1, boys. So we could see some tempers flare after this one. Like we said last night, there's a few argy-bargy moments last year, so we'll see if they can rekindle that magic here tonight.
Well, I think Race Clark would hope not to. He's going to see if he can actually, as I look at it, Race Clark and Drew Eisman are starting
Ironic, isn't it?
right by each other. So this should be an interesting little exchange if something does occur again.
Well, speaking of right by each other, we've got completed qualifying. We have Levi the Mad Dog Zielinski, who scored the pole tonight, beat the old-timer Chuck Sweeting there. That's going to be your front row. No real surprises outside of Levi, but we've seen the speed he's had all season, so not really a big surprise there, Matt. But maybe Peter Short, I guess, is your stumbling block there. You noticed in qualifying he didn't have the best of runs going there.
Yeah, that's incredibly strange for Peter. He's the last person that took a time is actually him being scored. So it's going to see how he can advance up to the field here this evening and see if he can put himself in a good position because I don't think I've ever raced here in Milwaukee, but I can only imagine passing's about as hard as Loudon.
And one thing failed to mention last night, probably pretty obvious though, if you see something in blue like a name, that means they're in the playoffs. If you see the blue tick and the ticker underneath their name, that means they're in the playoffs. So that's easy for you to find. Also, I believe on track the banners are also blue for the playoff drivers. So if you know your favorite drivers in the playoffs, that's how you can keep track of them.
Levi Zielinski chimed in the chat. He said it feels weird off of 4, so that should be interesting to watch. See if that'll be a developing problem as the race goes on, as this track takes some rubber.
Is that like 575 weird or 671 weird?
You know,
I'm
weird. Those are the laps for the poles there, man, and outside pole.
I was trying to think of how those numbers correlated.
They're not steak sauces, so guess we'll find out, Trey. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever driven a Cup car here. I've driven an Xfinity and a truck, and usually puts on a pretty good show. Hard to pass, like any flat track, but still, if you get the car hooked up in the long run, you can still make the moves.
Well, I think this is going to drive a lot like Loudon. A little less banking, I believe, than Loudon, but still the same kind of racing. I think passing's going to be at a premium. Although I'm kind of curious to see, Thomas, this new dynamic track. We saw some 2 wide racing last night. We've seen it on the 1.5 miles. So we'll see if it can translate here at Milwaukee. And if it does, ooh, boy.
I don't see anyone coming off that bottom groove. I don't. It would have to have some hellacious rubber down there to make that work. Because if you get out there outside that little pavement area, the fresh pavement little groove on the bottom, I think you're going to go backwards all night long.
Yeah, so you get some PJ1 here, and we'll see more grooves. Like that works. Look, and Luis Salmaso comes in and says, "Oh, we hate this track." I think he likes it, guys.
Now, is that a royal we, or is that just a we as in your group? Because I actually like this track. I know people are going to roll over in the grave. I said I like a track, but I don't know, it's just always fun to race on.
I do enjoy the flat tracks. It makes it a little bit more fun for me, even though I usually end up in the outside wall. But, you know.
I was going to say in the pit wall, but okay.
I would think you end up on the pit wall no matter what track we're racing at, Matt. I mean, just watching some Got That Stat videos.
I can't confirm or deny that I was driving in those videos at Stable Mind.
I don't think it mattered if you were drunk or not with some of those wrecks, unless you were going to blink your way through them.
Yeah, I'm gonna start pulling the Ethernet cord. I think when I see a wreck in front of me, and I should be good to roll right through.
Roll on through. Well, looks like we only have 11 of our 12 playoff drivers starting tonight, so Brooks Westfall gonna have to probably I don't
Win.
remember the rules for this. I don't know if you could just win and get on or not, but regardless, it's gonna be hard to make up. You only have 2 races after this to make up the points, so unless someone else has some pretty terrible luck, you're in for a long playoff here.
Well, folks, looks like Bert's trying to get everybody corralled here at the start-finish line of the Milwaukee Mile.
It's like herding cats. But we've got them all herded, so let's roll them off on the grid, boys. I mentioned it earlier. Starting on pole, Levi Zielinski looking to hopefully finish there tonight. Had the speed, just hadn't been able to put a whole race together. To his outside, the old man, the veteran, Chuck Sweeting.
It's a very sharp paint scheme. Starting in the second row, the number 5, Sam Close, another playoff driver, and to his outside, the 17 of Cameron Rich.
The number 18 of Paul Ross will be starting 5th. To his outside, starting 6th. Solid qualifying effort for that number 22 car. I'm talking about Race Clark.
Another solid qualifying run from Johnny Thomas. Going to roll off P7 into his outside. The man we haven't seen in a couple weeks, Drew Eisman, back to work on his playoff run here. Been taking a few weeks off. I guess get rested up, boys.
Row number 5, we have the 4, Luis Salmaso. Rounding out your top 10 is that 90 machine of Corey Lindsay, another playoff driver.
Just outside. Oh, sorry, Trey.
Road.
God, cut you right off. Jeez.
I know. Starting P11, the 64 of Chad Brown, and to his outside, starting P12. We usually see him up further in the field. A little disappointing in his qualifying effort tonight. Driver that number 14, Kevin, the Flying Finn.
He's definitely have to do some flying tonight to get up there. Rolling off P13, we have Richard Hines, another one of your playoff drivers, and to his outside, Rusty Webb.
Then 15th of the 63, Mike Stevens. To his outside, Peter Short. I never usually get to say his name in the grid.
Right. Yeah. And last 2 starting positions didn't take time tonight. Got Brent Miller starting 17th. His brother, BF, spouse, I have no idea. Maybe it's just a coincidence. He's starting 18th on the field. Driver that number 9, Nick Miller.
You gotta watch those Miller boys.
It's Miller and Miller now. Anyways, that's your grid for this race. What are we expecting here for tire strategies? 4 tires every time?
Yes. I don't know. I think you might stay out until you have to pit.
I'd say if we get I don't know, it's going to depend on how we start this race. If we get a rash of cautions, definitely you're not going to pit. But if we go green for a while, I think you're going to take the gamble and pit every time we get a spaced out caution there. Might see some 2 tires if we get a couple timely placed cautions there to get some track position.
We haven't done it very much, guys, yet. Well, lately. Who's your driver to win this race?
Who do we want to run tonight? Let's go on a limb. I'm going to say Sam Close is going to get her done.
I have no fucking clue.
I'll take the 22 Race Clark because we're green here at Milwaukee.
Honestly, I mean, it's anybody's race. I don't really think Milwaukee's been one of those we can pick yet. Chuck with a mega run there on the outside, not going to be able to hold it, though.
It's going to be the hard job here, the starts of all the restarts and everything, is get down to that bottom groove and not get hung out on the outside like we saw last night at Texas. There's a whole host of positions.
Ooh, that was close, but Chuck's still making it work on the outside so far. He might get credit. No, I'm going to go way wide out of 4.
Good job keeping that out of the fence. Must have got wicked tight on him.
It looks like he kind of just drove over that grip strip there and just couldn't hang on to it anymore.
Did jump down in that hole behind Sam Close, so Chuck Solely in 3rd, looking to do the crossover on Sam and pick up 2nd.
So far, so good throughout the field. Looks pretty clean. Kimmer Rich trying to duck under Sam Close as well. Definitely looks like maybe you can carry that momentum in the corner on the outside, but really hard to get that power on the center off to make it still hook for you.
Well, just talking on that point, Thomas, looking at the track conditions right now, it's 111 degrees the track temperature. She's a scorcher out here tonight.
Out a doubt. Definitely looks, I've seen a couple cars already kind of do what Chuck did. Turn 4 seems to be very treacherous for them. They keep just pushing way out on the corner exit. That's definitely not going to help your right front tire. Not like you need that or something in the long run, but you know.
Nah.
Looks like Zelensky pushed up big time through 3 and 4. Chuck actually had to check up a little bit there.
Looking back here at the 33, Peter Shore, he's making a little bit of headway right now. He's gained about, I think it was 3 positions since the drop of the green flags. See if he can work on that 64 of Chad Pilot Brown and then the 90 at Corey Lindsay.
Trying to go the long way around.
Yeah, that might not work too good for him, but credit him for trying.
Chuck's still trying to work over Levi there and just can't get the power down to get by him on exit. A little loose there off of 4.
This is definitely...
Levi there now, though.
Yeah, Levi kind of opened the door a little bit, came off the bottom, and gave Chuck the hole there. Power down side by side going down the backstretch.
Chuck's going to tuck in behind him there.
Yep, Chuck's going to take the lead here.
That could spell trouble for the field there. He's looking pretty consistent in practice, the Chuckster.
You could steal the show here from these playoff contenders and get the first win of the playoffs in the Cold Hard Air Cup Series.
It's going to bring that up, too. The front row wasn't even playoff drivers, so the playoff guys got the thunder stole right off the bat. 2 non-playoff guys with the front row, so... Step your game up, playoff drivers, come on. What's this, Joe Nemechek, Kansas or something?
That was one from left field.
That's the only one I could think of, a non-chaser winner.
Yeah, you'll see it this year when Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins Talladega. Am I right, Trey?
Yeah, Waterhead.
Field seems to be strung out now, looking to get her done. Seeing a lot of guys already starting to push up in the center a good bit, so definitely going to have to maybe back it up, or like you said, Matt, the track's so hot it may not actually, you just can't get that car turned down in the corner now.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough thing to battle because it's just going to get more and more worn as you put more rubber down too, so it might be getting pretty tough to get around here after a little while.
Oh, Chuck's starting to open it up on Levi a little bit, about 0.8 of a second, and looking to stretch it even more.
Ooh, Sam Close got a little bit out of shape there. He kept in the right direction. Off a turn forward, just like Mad Dog Zelensky said. A little bit of a weird spot there.
Yeah, almost like the car kind of wants to settle or something and just shoot out to the wall. I haven't really seen that in a lot of other tracks.
How about Peter? Update on Peter Short. He's made his way up to 12th, looking to pick up the 11th spot from Corey Lindsay. So move Peter up to P11.
Yeah, Corey did the smart thing there. Didn't even contest it. Just said, you know what, you're faster. You go ahead. So maybe if the tables have turned later on in this race, Peter will remember that and give Lindsay a little bit of extra room.
Or maybe he's just going to let Peter open the doors and he can follow him right through.
Man, these cars look evil up off of both corners now. I want you to rise them in there, just walk the dog and wag the tail all the way around.
It's like Zelensky's having a little trouble that last lap. Cameron Rich caught up to him quite a bit, lost a little bit off of exit 4 there, but a little bobble last lap. You're right though, Matt. These cars are not handling the best anymore. This is where we like them though. Start getting rough.
It's when the cream would rise to the top right now.
That's when you actually get to race someone.
Yeah. Oh, Levi's up the track there. Yeah.
It's kind of one of the waving them by there. Okay, yep, you're in there. Thanks.
So update on Kevin Finn. He started 12th. He's currently moved up 2 positions to 10th, looking to make the move around that 77 of Drew Eisman. So pretty good start for Kevin, trying to rebound from a poor qualifying effort.
It's kind of slow and steady there.
And Luis Almaso gets the job done getting by Johnny Thomas just a little bit in front of them. He might give it right back here this time. Oh, jump back here. Rusty Webb and Richard Hines. A slobber knocker right now. It's the closest race we have right now. No, sorry, there's a couple guys side by side up there.
Peter Short just about stuck his nose in there on Kevin Finn. We still got Eisman and Salmosa.
Oh, the 4's loose!
It's gonna
Touches the 14! Saved it right.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
Peter Short.
Wow.
Must have shit his britches on that one. Woo!
Some good driving right there.
A lot of time lost too, though. It looks like he just clipped Kevin Finn when he came by. I don't know if that's really gonna hurt him a whole lot.
I think the 4 had that car wrecked. He just didn't know it.
Yeah. The Ford did a great job of keeping that together. I think Kevin Finn's right rear quarter panel helped him out just a touch too.
Yeah, a little bit of crinkle in it, but nothing. Probably nothing to worry about. Get it pulled out on the pit stop. I believe as Del Jarrett said last week, Trey, they wrecked. They just didn't have a caution.
Yeah, exactly.
77 there, Drew Eisman trying to find a way to get around Johnny Thomas. He might be holding him up a little bit there, Trey.
Yeah, I think so. I think Drew's a little bit faster, but showing some good patience here, trying to wait for Johnny to make a mistake.
Kind of hoping if you put the pressure on just a little bit there, he might just force him into a mistake without having to actually make him make a mistake.
Yeah, it's a little early for the chrome horn, so.
Well, he's easing up on it.
Well, he's got the 14 breathing down his neck now, so. Kind of one of those things where you got to make the move, or you're gonna get you're gonna lose a spot if you're not careful.
Oh, it looks like Cameron Rich was able to get by Levi, so move that 17 machine up to P2. Levi Zielinski currently 3rd, Paul Ross 4th, Sam Close 5th.
The front two are about 2/10 quicker in the field right now, but Cameron not pretty much matching Chuck's pace, so not really cutting into his lead any. Maybe a couple hundred slower here and there. Looking through, I believe, yes, he is. Brett Miller is our currently last car in the field and the last playoff driver at the moment, so definitely struggling here at the start. Really struggling as I look at him.
Way wide.
Not pretty, not pretty.
I think this track is a big rhythm track from what I've seen. I think I did run a truck race here. I lied earlier, but it seems like a big rhythm track. So if even the slightest thing happens, you could get it all knocked out of shape and not be able to get back into your rhythm and moving forward.
Yeah, this track is just like the Loudon before they put the variable banking in it. You got to stay around that yellow line.
Maybe just a little bit off in the center if you can get that kind of magical arc up and then come
Diamond.
down, but not much. You definitely got to ride that bottom. Something Matt's good at.
At times. Oh, Johnny Thomas slides up there. He's
Way
going to
up
let
the hill.
the 77 and 14 get by. And Peter Short, after having that near miss and locking up the brakes there, he's looking pretty good. He's got right back up to the back end of these fellas.
Yeah, I mean, he was quick in practice to stay botched Q run, so probably gonna take about half the race to, if we stay green, it's gonna take more than that probably to get back to where he thinks he should be running. Which for him, I guess, would be P1.
Yeah, I know if you're Peter Short, you started 16th. Kind of hope to get mid-pack, maybe a little more, and then maybe a caution comes out and you can make up that time on the leaders. But he's going to need some help if he wants to have a shot at it.
Yeah, already 8 seconds off the lead, so definitely well outside the striking zone there. But Matt called the caution last night, so I'm sure he can predict one tonight.
Just call me Nostra Kingston. But I see Peter keeps using that curbing there, the rumble strip down the bottom of the track, just to help his back end swing around a little bit better at at the middle to late exit or early exit, sorry, at the corner.
Yes, looks like he's gonna try and undercut underneath Johnny Thomas here.
Yeah, that was a good corner right there for Peter. That's a good setup.
Once
Johnny's
again,
not even going to fight him.
a lot of patience being shown, kind of like we saw last night. No one's really fighting for that position, but I think honestly here, once you get to the inside of somebody, with the tires the way they are now, I don't think you're gonna be able to hold them off unless you get some kind of mega ultra grip pack run to the outside groove there. It's one of those Ray Alfalfa cheats.
I was gonna say Ryan Loser, but yeah, close enough.
It's Ray Alfalfa, Ryan Loser. I love you
Making
guys.
friends every day.
Right?
Richard Towler, who's that? As Peter Short's gonna try to work over the 14 here, Kevin Finn. He should be able to get him going into turn 1, which he does.
Richard
Just-
Towler.
He has his sights set on the 77, Drew Eisenman.
Picking him up and laying him down as he's sawing on it. Like I said, still using that curving to just getting a little bit of rotation in the car.
It seems to be just enough too there. He's just getting it swung so he can actually get a straight drive almost on corner exit, which is something that you would ideally want to have.
And he's still about third quickest car in the field, and he's in traffic, so it's pretty impressive. And about a tenth quicker than his teammate in front of him.
I don't see many other drivers except for that 33 using the curbing. Chuck might be touching it every once in a while there, but not nearly as much as what Peter's using it.
You heard it, people in chat. Spread the word. Hit the rumble strips. Make it happen.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna have
he's fast, though. Chuck ran a 62 that last lap. Clean air. Peter Short ran a 69 back in traffic.
Yeah, he's
so,
right there with him.
Yeah, he's right there.
Just get a caution.
not yet, because we have an Eisentech Enterprise sandwich right now. A race Clark Drew Eisenman.
Around on a turn 4 and smacks the inside
Wow.
wall. I believe he
No
was trying to get
caution
around
yet.
Levi Zielinski, but just got himself out of shape.
Oh, that's a pretty decent whack to that left front.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Car still, he might have some toe damage too, because he's still off the pace. He might actually come to pit lane this time, probably.
Not a good
No.
way to start your playoffs.
Nope. Keep an eye on him here, see if he's gonna pit or just tough it out. Nope,
Love-
coming to pit.
Little update there. We have Drew Eisenman in front of the 22 and Peter Short to make his move on race Clark. That's going to put Peter, I believe, in the 6th position, but looking for top 5 already. 11 positions and 29 laps.
Race had a bad set of corners there because he was ahead of Drew. And the tires really starting to fall off for some of these guys.
Ooh, Race just blew that corner. He's going to have Kevin Finn charging for that position now. Race could lose 3 spots in 1 lap.
Still hanging tough there on the outside. Powered around Kevin Finn again. Allro's still sitting on pit lane, so we've got a lengthy repair there. Probably going to be early into his night, any competitive night, that is.
Here's the bad thing about Peter Short. Tire fall off is not that bad here. I mean, Chuck's fastest lap was a 30.1. He just ran, 30 laps into the race at 30.7.
That's kind of shocking. Right? I mean, I figured a track like this, you'd have maybe second and a half, 2 seconds by this point, but not really. Peter Short's going to make the move on Drew Eisenman.
It's top 5 right now, Peter Short.
Kevin Finn still trying to work around Race Clark. Might get him this time out of 4. Nope. Just can't get that power down. Been pretty cautious too with him though. He's not really racing him out as hard as you could.
Looks like he's gonna kind of let Race dive it in there, sorry, and see if he can maybe get something out of it. Because Johnny Thomas sucks right in on that battle.
Johnny's running about where he's ran all year, Matt. Really kind of consistent top 10. So just maybe trying to sneak in through this first round of playoffs here.
He was quick in practice, so maybe he's just feeling out the car here in this first run and hope for a little bit of a better start than he had this time, because I believe he got hung up on the outside. Paul Ross is out of the pits now. Looks like he's got quite a bit fixed, but he's must be close to 4 laps down, I believe it will be. This is what, 11 laps down here at Milwaukee?
Yes.
6:11 roll. I don't remember which way it goes.
11 for the short tracks. This would be a short track, I think.
I'd classify it as one, yes. Kevin Finn looks like he's finally going to get around Race Clark, maybe into turn 1 here. Move him up to P7.
Ooh, race.
It's close.
Woo! Flirting with the laws and net code there.
One of those where you kind of tap it and hope you can cut back underneath them. Just gotta tap.
89 of Brett Miller, now the first car 1 lap down. That's not what Paul Ross wanted to see at all, but we'll see if he can actually get those 4 laps back. It's going to be a tough cookie to crack for sure.
He's going to need to pull some Jeff Gordon magic for that to happen. Hashtag Martinsville. 3 laps down to win.
Who's she?
You know, back before the sport died.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Really, the only battle on track still is Johnny Thomas, Race Clark, and Kevin Finn. Kevin really had, ooh, that looked dangerous. Looked like he had a little bit of a weeble wobble in the front straight. But Kevin hasn't pulled away yet from Mr. Clark, so we'll see what happens.
Well, it took him a while to get around him, so I don't think he's massively faster than Race, but Race made a couple of mistakes that let him get by.
Oh, guys, you know what we should do? It always seems to bring out a caution for us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We should run him through the field here on lap 37 of 200.
Always trying to bring out cautions.
Well,
should I start it or should you start?
You take your head at water.
Caution taker. All right, well, we'll start with Mr. Chuck Sweeting here. Currently your leader, started P2 tonight. Really no surprise, worked his way by Levi Zielinski early. Pretty stout car, running some of the fastest laps all night and looking to not mess up on pit lane, as we're probably coming fairly close to pit stops here.
It's running right now in the 2nd position. We have the 17 of Cameron Rich, who is the top playoff driver right now, qualified in 4th spot, and he's been consistent right now with Mr. Chuck Sweeting's times. So maybe if a caution does come out or we can get a good pit stop here, we might have a race between those two.
And as Trey has fallen asleep in the booth, we'll move to Sam Close, who is a massive 7.8 seconds behind the top 2 drivers right now. Matt, that's hard to believe. Sam, one of the guys who's good in the long run, but just can't seem to match the 2 in front of him right now. We'll see if he can turn around after this next pit stop.
Well, guys, Mr. Where did he come from? The number 33, Peter Short, qualified P16. He's running right now in the 4th position. That's 12 spots gained under green flag conditions. That's incredible.
That's incredible. And your current pole sitter going to round out your top 5 as Peter Short gets a little loose out of 4 there. Levi Zielinski falling back to 5th. Looks like he's struggling with that car. May have burnt the right front off early on in that run.
Proprietor of Isotech Enterprise, 77, Drew Eisman, running the 6th position. Qualified 8th, so a gain for him as well.
Speaking of gains, we got Kevin Finn up to P7 after qualifying 12. It's solid so far. Nothing to write home about, but still a long way to go. See if you can maybe pick up some pace here as we cycle through the round of pit stops. Coming up in probably a handful of laps.
8th spot, we have another Isotech Enterprise machine, the 22, Race Clark, and P8.
P9, we have Johnny the Rocket Thomas here, trying to get around Race Clark. Johnny's been running solid in the top 10 all season, but looking to pick up a little more pace here in the playoffs.
And rounding out your top 10, we have the number 4 of Luis Salmaso. He qualified 9th. He had a little bit of trouble there, got into the 14 a little bit, and almost caused a wreck, but he was did a very good job of saving it, so it's a decent spot for him to be sitting right now.
And your playoff drivers outside the top 10 at the current moment are Richard Hines, who's P14, and Brent Miller, who is P17, currently a lap down. Been a rough night for the 89 machine so far. And Paul Ross, we saw that wall contact. He's your final playoff driver, currently sitting P18 in the field.
Corey Lindsay in the 11th position.
Oh, yeah, missed him too. He's
So
currently just outside the top 10.
So I totally missed through the field, man. Sorry about that. My daughter, who's 12, she came in here all bowed up, so I had to put her in the DDT real quick. Can't have that shit from
What
no
does
12-year-old.
that mean? What does that mean?
Oh,
Google it. Jake the Snake, DDT. I mean,
Oh, I thought
Wow.
you said something other than DDT. Sorry. Good
Here
God.
first, parenting tips with Trey Landry. You gotta beat those kids when you can.
can't have that shit. You don't bow up on your daddy.
Well, it didn't bring out a caution Trey, so that's a miracle.
Word. I think there's a caution in my kitchen right now.
That's a red flag.
But hey, I got my smokes. I got my gin and tonic. I got some chewable Skittles here on the desk, so all is good.
Now, do they make Skittles non-chewable?
No, these are like. Oh, I'm sorry. These are chewy lemon heads.
Oh. Lindsay gonna get around Johnny Thomas there, so move Corey Lindsay, I believe, into the top 10. Now, wasn't Johnny just in P9? So he's had a struggle there the past couple laps.
And somebody else that's not struggling, Peter Short. He is all over, or fixing to be, the 5 of Sam Close, and he is now.
Yeah, it looks like Sam's kind of been struggling just a little bit there.
Oh, Peter almost lost her there.
That has got to be wicked at a 4, because I've seen him do that, what, 3 or 4 times now?
Yeah, and that's uncharacteristic for Peter. Usually he's pointing in the right direction everywhere, same as Sam Close. So we'll see what happens between those two. They should actually produce a very good battle because they're both top-notch competitors.
I just can't believe the lap times between some of these guys. Sorry, Trey.
No, I was gonna say Sam's not struggling too bad. He started third. He's currently third. He's just not moving up as fast as everybody else.
Well, he just can't seem to match that pace in front of him either. I mean, Cameron and Chuck are just almost on top of each other lap after lap, which is impressive. 46 laps into the race.
Yeah, they're putting Brent Miller a lap down. Well, he's already a lap down, but they're officially lapping him.
It's gonna roll over and let him by. Pretty classy.
Now, Peter is, I believe, top seed right now. No, sorry, he's not. It's Sam Close, I believe, is top seed, yeah. And he's second seed, Peter Short is, so that provides for some very entertaining racing between those guys, because, you know, one of them wants to get higher than the other.
Yeah. Well, you gotta remember the halfway point comes into play here as well, so see who's gonna maybe keep that in the back of their head here, and maybe try and short pit and make sure you're out front early, or have to stay out and try and get that extra point. While not also ruining your race, so.
Well, we're almost... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Peter Short's all over the back bumper of Sam Close.
Were you
Yeah,
gonna say we're
stop.
almost half of a halfway there, Matt?
I was going to say we're almost halfway to the halfway bonus point, but...
So that's a quarter.
Yes. Oh, 26. Chuck Sweeting says, hey, I'm coming down pit lane this time.
Almost on the number there.
Ace Clark gonna follow. Smart man.
And we said the tires didn't fall off a whole lot, but you definitely want to be down pit lane after Chuck's pitted here, because you don't want to give up about a second and a half overall in tires. As Corey Lindsay's in and out of his pit stall.
Pit speed here, grueling. 40.
35 or 40? 45. Oh, it's pretty quick. Yeah. Gotta be careful on pit exit here too, because if you blend too early, that'll get you a black flag.
Oh, and there's tires there on pit exit too, is there not?
Yeah. On entry, well, is it barrels on entry? I think
Barrels on entry.
Kevin Finn in and out of pit lane.
Chuck's on track there.
Cameron Rich coming in as race cars leading. It's always kind of a tight spot there. Peter Short coming in. These pit stalls are so tiny, it looks like they're missing them when they come in.
That's what I was thinking too.
Now Sam Close stayed out. He got a lap lead. We'll see if he comes in here.
I think he is.
Oh, nope, gonna stay out one more time.
One more
Wow,
time.
that was slow through the middle. I guess it just looks slow compared to
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been out there 50 laps on that set of tires.
Peter Short's been servicing away. Levi Zielinski's still on track. Sam Close call.
Yeah. Gonna be fun.
Levi's gonna follow him, and Drew Eisman just came off pit lane. He's gonna be slotted in right behind Kevin Finn in that 14.
Chuck came out in a gaggle of traffic there, trying to get around the outside of Richard Hines here. It's gonna cost him some time to Cameron Rich. Actually, a lot of time. I'd say Cameron made up probably, what, 2 seconds? Maybe a second and a half?
Yeah, for sure. And if Cameron can get by Richard Hines, which he does without much issue.
87 coming to pit lane this time.
I believe that's going to cycle us all through now.
Still got
Oh, Louise still on track.
We'll see when he decides to come back or come down pit road.
You know, he's got nothing to lose. He could ride it out for a caution, maybe. We saw that work last night.
Yeah, Richard Lafferty was laughing about that one, but unfortunately it didn't work out in the long run. But, see if Luis can. Maybe he can kind of steal the thunder from these folks.
Oh, the 89 car is at least honest tonight. So.
Yeah, it looks like Johnny Thomas thought that he got into him, but no, Brett Miller tagged the wall. Ooh, twice. Yikes. Our little lick there on that right side.
Just a touch. Had to beat that back out on the next pit stop. 50 more laps.
Rusty Webb yet to pit also. I just noticed his name pop up there in the weeds.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's waiting on. He should go ahead and pit because he's going to lose a lap.
Yeah, I think he was so far behind Trey. Maybe he's just banking on that caution because he knew he was going to get lapped anyway. That would be my guess.
Yeah, Peter Short makes quick work of him. Sorry, short work of him there. Almost ruined it.
Peter's got quite the distance still to go to catch Cameron and Sweeting there, so definitely going to need that yeller. Not old yeller, just a yeller.
Well, we still right now 3 more pit stops to go through. Well, 2 for sure, maybe 3. We'll see. I doubt 3 actually. Did I say that?
Let's say, I know Canadian math is hard.
That's what happens, kids, when you don't pay attention in math class.
Pretty
Hey,
sure it's
pit
3
it.
total.
Yeah, 3. You pit at 50, pit at 100, pit at 150. But it looks like Luis might be trying to stretch this into maybe a 2 pit stop race.
You still got a long way to go for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he can do 75 laps here.
I think that's almost a full fuel load. Like on, because they only run 75% tanks here, so that's about 14 gallons, 14 point something.
He's going to be close. Yeah, he will be going a lap down pretty well when he pits, I think.
He should be really close at this point, staying out this long.
And especially if he is staying out until 75, then he's not going to be in the lead anymore. He'll be behind Chuck and probably all the way back to Drew. No, it's too far. Peter probably for sure.
Yeah, he had a 10-second lead over Chuck. Chuck's already cut it down to 3.5. So.
And Cameron's hoping he stays out and poses a problem a little bit for that 26 to get by. Just slow him up just a touch.
He's about, what, second a lap quicker? So, yeah, he's going to definitely mow him down here. But if you can eliminate a whole pit stop, that's going to be pretty impressive. And he's pitting this time. So there goes that theory.
Chad Brown there right now, the first car 1 lap down. He'll be the last car on the lead lap until Chuck has something to say about it after he takes a spot away from Luis as he sends her down to pit lane.
He's going to say, yay, I'm back on the lead lap, and it's gone. as we see. Well, it's called Peter again off of turn 4 there sideways, so still sullen on it.
Chuck's doing a little diamond there, I noticed, which seems to be working a little bit better than Peter's strategy.
But Cameron was able to make up a second over that exchange. As he's right there. He's got Chuck in his sights now.
He wasn't much slower than Chuck that whole run. They were pretty much exchanging, lap times with each other within a couple hundreds. So, if you keep him in that distance right there, you can maybe keep up a fight as we go into the later stages in this race. Ladder stages, man. Get the chairs, Matt. We're going ladders.
Ladders.
Yes.
Shoot
the
the
tables.
ladders.
Shoot some ladders. I'm a little young for that.
We saw Salmaso. He just came out in front of Chuck, so he's able to stay on the lead lap for now.
Should be able to drive away from Chuck. Should be enough gap in the tires now. But he was, I believe he was ahead of Corey Lindsay before they pitted, so that's how much time he lost. Corey's currently P8 at the moment. So let's gaggle of seconds there. Producer says 12. I guess I'll go with it. I guess he can count. Like Matt.
Oh, that was close there between the 89 Brent Miller and the 33 of Peter Short. I don't know if Peter heard that he was pitting or not, but almost caught the back end of Brent.
Yes, well, it was fairly close. He had some room. That's the difference, though, Matt. Those new tires and the 89 had still been out there for a little bit.
Yeah, is Chuck Sweeting up here, about to run into lap traffic with a 64 Chad Brown. See if he can get by him quick and not let Cameron Rich catch him very much. I can't see Chad putting up too big of a fight, though, to be honest.
He's trying to stay that car. He's trying to stay on the lead lap now, and then he wants to be that first car lap down if he does get passed, but definitely wants to try and stay on the lead lap for now.
Held him off pretty good there through corner 3 and 4.
I'll try and maybe work on that wide diamond there. Definitely lost a couple tenths that last lap. Getting stuck behind Chad, though. Cameron cut into his lead even more.
Cameron's within striking distance now if he can clear Chad up off the corner, which, he gets loose.
Sideways.
To hurt his forward gain.
Doesn't seem to really hurt the cars, though, when they get sideways. They kind of just keep going on normal pace there. I don't know if it's just the way they look. They look more sideways than they are or what. But...
Potentially, yeah. And it's Richard Hines is, oh, he's already a lap down, sorry. Disregard.
I believe he got lapped through this exchange of pit stops. He's having a little bit of a struggle tonight. We've only got 11 cars left on the lead lap. So.
That's what happens when a leader puts down a pace this fast.
Fast and consistent. That's what's scary. Both Cameron and Chuck have been just knocking out lap after lap, A couple hundreds off each lap. It's hard to keep up with. Something I could never do.
Yeah, I usually end up the blown tire or something. Or just running out of talent.
Now, how many times have you blown a tire? I've only seen it once.
Twice. I did twice.
I wish they brought that back, though.
Yeah, that was... no, I don't. I'm already bad.
Well, we don't race anymore, Matt, so it's fine.
That's true. We're working right now, lap 69, the number of love of 200 here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Hashtag save the mile. Not
Is
sure
this
why.
place a parking lot now or something?
It's still a track. It's just not got a lot of money.
Bastardized by NASCAR?
I think Michael Andretti finally got tired of paying to run IndyCar races here. So.
I think it used to be the truck races that were here, was it not, for NASCAR?
Truck and, yeah.
Yeah,
This is where Gibbs took away a win from Eric Almirola. So.
These were actually really good races to watch. I enjoyed them. What I remember, that was many moons ago, and I was probably like 7.
So like 6 months.
8. Well, folks, hit us up in chat here. Just if you can put any insight in, because we're idiots and we need some professional help.
Well, I don't believe they can offer enough help, but not that kind of professional help. Hey-o! Nothing really intense happening right now. Everyone's kind of settled in after these stops. Looks like Corey Lindsay might still has ongoing battle with Johnny Thomas here, but looks like Johnny's got the best of him right now. Got Kevin Finn trying to work around the 89 there. Got Zelensky behind Finn, but nothing really hot and heavy so far.
Oh, and I saw on the Facebooks that it was Cameron Rich's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday. You were now, what, 86 or so?
16, I think.
Oh, 16. Okay, I was off by a couple years.
16, oh man.
No, I don't know. It's just he sounds.
I was gonna say like 12, but okay.
You people are heinous. Oh, we have a chatter? Alice Ladek, hi y'all. What's going on, man? You enjoy your stay.
I was hoping you were gonna leave a gap there. You said, "Oh, we have a chatter." I was gonna say, "Well, you better pit."
I see what you did there.
Pit.
I'll just go ahead and leave now. Thanks. Just looking through, nothing really jumps out. I guess the 22 probably didn't have the best of pit stops there. He fell behind both Corey Lindsay and Johnny Thomas. So, lost a lot of time there. Probably going to lose a position to the 4 once he can get up to him, because we know he's got the freshest Tyrese in the field here.
Yeah, and if he doesn't watch it, he might be losing the lead lap.
True. Only 25 seconds ahead of Mr. Sweetie so far. So. And when they're turning 30-second laps, let you do that math.
I say 5 seconds.
Really? Is that what you say? But how many laps?
So he gets lapped? I don't think he'll get lapped before pit stops unless something drastic changes, because they're kind of close in times right now going around.
I mean, it's about 0.2 laps slower.
He'll pick it up. He's just saving for a little bit. Trust me.
Let's get Trey on it. He's good with numbers. Trey, now if he's 0.2 a second, 0.2 a lap slower than Chuck, how many laps is it going to take Chuck to catch him? And also, the train left New York at 3 p.m. When will it arrive in Australia?
Okay.
What?
So here's my math. 2 times 5 to make a second, right? 2/10 time. I'm not going to talk anymore. I can't explain it. Stroke.
What?
I don't know.
We are good. We are good, my man. Oh. No, not the position. The 9, Nick Miller, just got by his brethren, Brent Miller there. Not
Brother
position.
from another mother.
Oh, Kevin Finn, though, falling in the grasp of Levi Zelensky right now.
That actually was for a position, right?
Brent's 2 down.
Was it? No, he's 1. Oh, sorry, 2. I was reading the
I
thing.
was going to say, maybe I'm screwed up here.
Stroke.
Happened before. All of us are having one, so this is great. But no, Levi Zelensky seems like he's turned it on here in the second stint. Just as I say that, he washes up a little bit in turn 1, but shouldn't hurt him too much. It actually might help him.
Been having a little struggle there trying to get around Paul Ross. Just notice Kevin's giving a lot of room to those guys on the outside, kind of pinching his car down more. He's too courteous. We saw the speed. What's his number here? 97. keep wanting to think he's in the 51 from Xfinity races. He had the speed early on, Levi did, but he just kind of looks like he burnt the tires up that first run. Maybe he can back her down this time and keep it going.
I'm just going to try to keep her going as he pokes underneath the 14 Kevin Finn, trying to take that 6th spot away here.
14's just going to roll over and let him go as he overcooks the corner just a little bit. We're going to try and get the undercut.
Crossover.
Not going to get the power down, though.
See if Kevin contests him. Don't think so, no. He's still way out there in Never Never Land.
So we're 2/5 into this race.
Please just stop with the numbers.
Is that close to 3/9?
3/9 is a half or third, 33%. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
quit.
Did you just ask? Oh my god.
Oh, I think Luis Almaso's pitting in. Watch out! Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
I don't. I mean, he's pitting, but I don't understand that one.
Yeah, he held it longer. Let's see.
Yeah, he's ran to like 120. These guys won't be coming back in until around 100 anyway, because they put it around lap 50. So there's some issues happening on the 4 car. It is a 4 car. It probably has a loose wheel. So.
He didn't get slobber knocked by his teammate. A
Oh,
cloud of smoke.
Holy
4
crap.
is done for the night.
Oh,
So I guess he
That,
decided he had enough.
left side damage might have hampered him in his gains also, because he had pretty decent size wrinkle there in that fender.
Probably put a wrinkle in his plans.
Probably wants
God.
to come in. Probably wants to come and chat and do some race car math with us.
Well, here's the math I am confident on.
Oh, spit it out, Professor.
There's 5 lug nuts on each tire, so there's 20 on a car. And how many is loose on Dale Jr.'s right now?
Including the one in his brain, about 17. I mean,
don't
his
wanna
brain's
bash
been
him anymore.
bruised. Hell, it's like a freaking
Gee.
it's like a grapefruit left at a fruit stand.
Peter Short did something wild there. He went almost all the way under the rumble strip that last time there. See if he does it. No, he can't do it
That's-
this one.
That's not uncommon to do that through 1 and 2, though. You can get some speed through pit lane there. It's not a black flag or anything. It's pretty crazy to do it, but sometimes if the car won't rotate, you can yank her down there and get some speed.
Hope he does it this time, so I'm not proving a liar. Do it! Of course you won't.
We never saw it, so it never happened. Alternative facts here from Matt Kingston.
Who even is this guy?
Speaking of guys, Chuck Sweeting, pretty sure he's a guy, slowly inching in on Race Clark here. As a matter of have you know, it's about 5 laps per second, so.
You know who's slowly inching in on Chuck Sweeting here? Cameron Rich.
True, I feel like he's just kind of been stalking him all night. Stalker.
You know, Cameron does want to get that halfway bonus point, which will be coming in exactly 13 laps when Chuck passes the start-finish line. There's
Sure
math
about
for
that?
you. Boom!
True. I mean, you can see maybe he's got that in the back of his head here because he's been as close as he's been all night on this long of a run. So either that or maybe Chuck's not quite as stout this run.
I know people say it's crazy, but I know for a fact there's some pit stops where I get a bad set of tires.
You're crazy.
Shut up.
That only happens to people at Martinsville. And that's because you have 18 cautions and the game just puts on old tires again just to make it fun.
You run into sets, say, oh,
That's a proven fact.
Cameron Rich is right there now on Chuck
All over the
Sweeting.
back, Chuck. This race is hotting up.
This might be our first actual pass for the lead, really, other than changing through pit stops.
Maybe Cameron paid Chuck off enough to let him get the halfway point, and then they can let him go back to the lead.
I forgot that we passed Levi Zelensky. Ooh, races out there, buddy. Woo.
Man, that was close. Definitely not going to help Chuck either, though.
He's Clark should roll over there for his Ice and Tech teammate, maybe.
Man, Chuck almost put Danica out there in the downward dog.
Good God.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm glad they couldn't hear the first part of that conversation. Anyway, Race Clark now 1 lap down.
Still, I mean, these cars get so wicked, and they don't really lose any time. It's kind of, you don't normally see that on these tracks. I mean, Peter,
Yeah.
I've seen Peter. You can almost read the numbers on the right side of his car, and he's still just kind of marching forward.
So now, Matt, 45% of the race is complete.
How much will it be when it's 50? I don't understand numbers and you people that know numbers like immediately. I sit it with a calculator and still get the damn things wrong.
That's because we were taught long division in school. So.
Yeah, they started that and then they gave up because I think they're all too stupid to get it done and done. So, oops. Can we bleep that out in post?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We got you.
Beep. See, that's how that worked, right?
Oh, Cameron into the wall just a touch there. Thought he was gonna hit it a lot harder because he did a little jerk to the right.
Chuck battled some more lap traffic here in front of him. Trying to get around the 9 machine Nick Miller here.
Okay, in chat there, Abislatic says the racing is fantastic so far. Yeah, it's a pretty great race. It's right now 93 laps, 0 cautions. So can't
Clean
complain
and
on that
green.
one. Yeah.
The only thing better would be if they could run 3 wide all race long.
Don't think that'll work here.
Been a pretty clean week for these guys. We had 2, maybe 3 cautions last night.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Lindsay cracked that whip and said, "Boys, it's the playoff time. Don't make me have to get this admin tool out."
Hashtag drop the hammer. Chuck
Get
lost
around
a
the-
lot of time there.
Yeah, I got a little sideways trying to turn underneath that number 9 machine of Nick Miller.
Next roll on the high side actually pretty well.
Be a little too well. Looks like you may overcook the center just a touch.
Yeah. Cameron's going to gain a little bit here as long as he can continue his march forward through 3 and 4. We'll see.
Problem we have here is we're, 5, 6 laps away from the next round of pit stops. So.
And if you're Cameron and Chuck pits before halfway, I think I would stay out.
True. Chuck, a little scrape of the wall there.
I'm telling you guys, don't give up on Peter Short yet.
Oh, he's marching into that lead, isn't he?
Yeah, he was
He's done.
6 seconds back in the exchange of the last green flag pit stops. He's cut it down to 4.2. So if Peter can have a good pit stop, he might have a chance this thing stays green.
2 tenths quicker last lap, so. As Chuck and Cameron respond both with 31 flats again.
Chuck might be doing the diamond there, seeing if he can catch up to Mike Stevens and get by him quickly, but looks like he lost a little bit of time on that one. Never mind, because Cameron about bought the farm off the corner.
I believe he wants that halfway point. And don't be fooled, do you think these guys forget about it? We heard from Eric Mickey the other day, the reason he raced Chuck so hard at Auto Club is he knew that halfway
Cameron,
point was
save
on the line.
Oh my god, what a save.
Well, that was interesting.
Apologize for that very high-pitched squeal, but I was very genuinely nervous.
Oh, first, looks like Race Clark on and off pit lane. So it was a lap down. Pretty good strategy there. Maybe make up some time on these guys around him. Well, we know they can go about what Ford car do about 60 laps. So you can stretch it a little further if you need to. Although the way this race is playing out, I believe you can just stick to the 50, 100, 150.
Yep.
see what Chuck does here, because he's going to be coming up. This is going to be the lap before he gets the bonus point. It would be greatly beneficial for Cameron and Rich because he's in the playoffs, but I don't think Chuck's ready to give up anything just yet up there.
Well, he didn't do himself any favors by getting sideways that one lap. So
Don't
No,
look,
definitely not.
don't look now, Matt, but we are 5/10 away to the end of the race.
this race is running on 10/10 right now. Woo!
And Chuck's going to stay out, and he's going to get that halfway point. So you have a couple takers in pit lane there. Looks like Corey Lindsay, maybe?
Corey Lindsay, Johnny Thomas. Been stuck together all night, pretty much.
See if Chuck comes this time.
I put my bet that he will. I have lost before.
And now that you know this is going green, you might push this just a little bit further in the middle to make sure your last run's not quite as long.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, man,
Nope,
he's coming to
Chuck
pit lane.
is coming.
As I said, I'm terrible at this.
Cameron and Rich will stay out, and I don't believe he's led yet tonight, has he?
Not yet.
Yes.
Who's behind him? Oh, Race Clark.
Oh, Kevin Finn trying to get down the pit lane here. He's going to be able to. He's hang on the outside there for a minute. Check. Cameron Rich coming down. So surrender the lead, and he...
Hot and heavy. See if everybody's clean zone. I haven't seen any major pit stop penalties tonight either. So
No, Chuck was good and clean off pit road, so let's see what Cameron can do.
yeah, but he came out in a gaggle of traffic again as he almost gets
Yeah.
into Richard Hines. Cameron in and out. So clean so far. That's pretty good. Of course, it's a lot easier to be clean on pit stops under green than when we have the shenanigans of cautions. So, looking at you, Thomas Fredericks. Looking at you.
Oh, Peter Short had a little bit of trouble there with Mike Stevens. He's going to be able to get by him there now, but coming off pit lane, looked like he's going to move him up out the way.
Eiserman, yeah, Drew's going to come in this lap, so not too far off each other with the cycle of pit stops. Sam Close looks like he's still staying out once again.
No, he's
Oh, it's
coming
in, isn't he?
down, but he really butchered that lap. He's probably going to lose a lot of time here.
Dun, dun, dun.
When these guys go by those tires there, I always think it's a car sitting at the bottom of the track.
So that will cycle Chuck back to the lead. We'll see where Cameron Rich and Peter Short sort out time-wise.
Looks like Chuck extended it a little bit on Cameron. And Peter, I believe he lost a fair chunk of time there. Some lap traffic to deal with.
Corey Lindsay a lap down.
about to,
Just
yes.
got a lap, yeah.
It's going to put your 9th place driver one lap down. He's going to be working right now. Johnny Thomas just not very far in front of him. And then Kevin Finn after
Jeez.
that.
Hellish pace we're setting here.
These guys are definitely hoping for a caution sooner rather than later.
Better brought your big boy clothes tonight, because you definitely couldn't be sleeping.
Yeah, Chuck opened up about a second, gained about a second on Cameron. That exchange of pit stops. Peter Short lost almost a second to these guys through his exchange.
We saw on the pit stops, he actually gained time on Cameron, so it must have been on the outlap when he got caught up with Mike Stevens and a couple more lap cars. Just didn't have the cards fall his way there. Still, these guys are well ahead of the group behind them. And Sam Close cycled back out in the fourth. He did, didn't he? 17 seconds off the lead. Wow. That's incredible. Getting all the good quotes in tonight.
except for problems, because there has been no problems yet tonight.
All right, Rick Allen.
Ugh.
Well, Sam Close had problems coming into pit road. That's kind of why he's so far behind there.
Still managed to hold a pretty sizable gap over Drew Eisman, though, so no real pressure there.
Having 17 seconds behind the leader.
Oh, you'll have that in those big jobs.
Nah.
I mean, the top three are gone. You know, I mean, Peter's 5 seconds behind, but there's still 17 seconds back to Sam and over 20 seconds back to 5th place. So definitely the top three have found their mojo.
Got Johnny Thomas and P8 about to go a lap down. There's Chuck's picking him up and setting him down.
Finn,
There's-
the next victim there.
There's 7 cars on the lead lap, fixing to be 6.
Caution!
Oh!
Caution!
Johnny Thomas got lucky on that one. Mike Stevens around in the front stretch. He pounded the inside wall too, I believe.
Oh, it's got to be a record 107 green flag laps. Well, 106.
Oh, Mike Stevens just pancaked the left side. Yes, Thomas, that was a fantastic run, but now watch out because I think the chrome horn might come out.
You still got a long way to go.
You don't know if you're going to get another caution. You better get all the positions you can right now.
Oh, here's the problem. There's only 7 of you on the lead lap, so
I think Corey Lindsay, if I was a playoff driver, I'd want to stay out in this caution. Just roll the dice and hope to get another quickie.
What? No
you
way.
could stay out. You haven't been out there that long, really.
These guys pit at like what, lap 100 or so? We're on lap 110 right now. I'd chance it.
That's a tough one.
I know if I'm Chuck, I'm coming down pit road.
Well, yeah, those guys are going to pit. We're talking about the guys that are a lap down.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
You
yeah.
got to take the wave around. At least get yourself back in contention. Because if you stay a lap down, like Matt said, if you get a caution, you're screwed. At least if you do and you're already on the lead lap, you're kind of sitting pretty.
Johnny Thomas, the big winner out of that. If it was about 5 seconds earlier, it would have been Corey Lindsay. But unfortunate for Mr. Lindsay. We'll see if he is actually going to stay out and take this wave around.
Problem with Johnny Thomas is he has to start behind everyone. So
Yeah, and he should probably be getting new tires, and these lads will be on old Goodyears. So we'll see how that shakes out.
well, maybe not everyone because Richard Hines, Race Clark, Corey Lindsay, they're all going to take the wave
Yeah.
around, so he'll be behind him. So that's not terrible.
That's right. Yeah.
Chad
So-
Brown, maybe.
So I'll tell you who this caution really benefits. Peter
Peter
Short.
Short. Yeah.
Yep, Peter Short.
Well, I think it ramps up everything, right? Because now Peter's in this battle. Cameron's had speed to run with Chuck, so it's going to just magnify, like, hey, you got to get around Chuck. If not, Peter's going to get around you. No more stalking. You got to go and, meet that fella.
And depending on, I mean, Peter, regardless of where Chuck decides to start, Peter's going to start on the inside.
Yep. As it looks like Race Clark actually came down pit lane.
Oh.
So he's not going to take the wave around. And Richard Hines as well. Interesting. It's all right, though. Chad Brown and Corey Lindsay got the memo.
I can't say I don't understand why they did that, but I'd like my lap back and then try to get.
It's a tough call because
Yeah.
you're going to be slow if you don't get a caution. But then if you don't get a caution, it's not going to matter in the end anyway. So, I don't know. I always like to be back on the lead lap at least. That way it's in
Yeah.
your hands. Because you're going to have to pit again anyway. So.
But this might throw a wrench into strategy. Oh no, they still have to make one more stop.
Yeah, this just
I can do.
pushes it further into when you need to make that stop.
Yeah, so the last run actually shouldn't be too treacherous for these folks.
As we see Corey Lindsay and Chad Brown and Rusty Webb and Brent Miller all taking the wave around.
Yeah, these guys only have one lap to catch up to, which is kind of hard.
As long as Jeff Davis isn't in front of you, you're fine.
Go! You know you're gonna get it.
Go, Davis! You know you're gonna get it. Jesus. Good times. Good times.
I just can't remember where we raced with him, man.
Jeff Davis?
Yeah, I don't
The
remember.
guy
if it
I
was...
raced every race last season with,
No
no
idea.
matter if I record or not.
I don't remember what league that was.
Oh, I don't know.
Speaking of that league, they no longer race on Thursday night. Cups is dead.
Does that mean we get that Google Chrome money?
Oh,
Yeah.
delay the green, so everybody can get caught up. I do like that call.
Way to go, David Cordy.
I believe it was thrown because they couldn't catch up to Mike Stevens. Mike Stevens is getting pushed back behind the field, so that probably would have been a flag situation and all that. Yeah, that could have been some shenanigans there.
I think it was stoned Mike Helton that threw that one.
Oh boy, with or without mustache. All right, let's see what we got here, boys. 3 fastest cars all night. Gonna start 1, 2, 3. Having Bert pull off here and hand it back over to Mr. Sweeting. Gonna get the green pretty early once again, I'm sure. And back to green.
Good jump by the top 3.
Even the top 4, Sam Close right there with him.
Oh, and Peter's not wasting any time. He's going to try to get by his Eisentech teammate of Cameron Rich this corner.
So beep beep. Well, he knows he saw what Chuck was capable of. He wants to make sure he can get by him as Sam Close is going to stick his nose in there on the inside of 17.
Yeah, he dive bombed his way to that position. Not complaining. Do what you got to do, brother.
And just like that, you've been running second all night, now you're in 4th. I love those restarts.
We're going to see what Peter Shore can do. He was quite quick all race long. He's got an unfortunate qualifying position. He might be able to put up a good fight against Chuck Sweeting, who's been the leader for the most part of the event.
I actually think he might have a little something for Chuck here on the long run.
Yeah, he was matching the times there. I'd like to see. I mean, Cameron was right there with him too, but this seemed to be a little more inconsistent than Chuck. So we'll see if Peter can maybe hit those perfect lines that you need here. Not the white lines though. That's a different guy.
Yeah, we leave that to our landscaping friends.
Oh, Cameron Rich in the back bumper. That could have been bad.
He did a good thing there, and he jammed on brakes. He could have got himself into a lot more trouble there, too.
Yeah, I don't think he was anticipating the 5 to be that slow to the center. Kind of little pop there right in the middle. You said the chrome horn was coming out, Matt. I mean, that wasn't on purpose, but it's, you know, sometimes you gotta maybe think ahead and push them out of the way when you need to.
That's what I mean. You don't know if we're going to get another caution, so this might be your only shot at maintaining with Chuck Sweeting.
Look at the time he's lost to Peter and Chuck already.
Levi Zielinski right back into the mix here, too. He's running P6 right now. Going to see if we can take advantage of Sam Close. Not going to be able to get a little bit too loose up off of corner 2.
Looks like Sam lost 2 spots there. That was Drew
Oh,
Eisman
Chuck.
got around him.
Chuck was swinging for the fences there, but might have been one of those controlled slides there, like we've seen.
Yeah, we saw those pretty much all night long as a 5 car just about cleans the 77's front clip there.
Oh, there was a little bit of contact, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, not terrible. Just, we know Drew. I'm sure he's going to maul that one over in the car there.
Definitely. Oh, Sam's still loose back. Ooh, might have.
Yeah, behind them we had Kevin Finn getting around Levi here. Just going to try and make it stick through 1 or 2.
Peter Short uses that rumble strip to his advantage yet again. He's closed right up here on our leader, Chuck Sweeting.
Levi Zielinski putting a little bumper to the 14 there.
There's been some little battles on and off all night. You know, these guys have been kind of stuck around each other all night. Reminds me of like the Kevin Harvick thing where he says they're gonna have nightmares about kids eating free or something.
Right.
I'm sure it's pretty short. Look, like I said, Matt trying that low line again. I'm sure Cameron was gonna have nightmares about I-Tate pretty much all night. Now it's gonna be Southwest. So.
Great to see how much rubber actually got laid down there in that groove. You can see it quite clearly here.
Yeah, definitely the dynamic tracks have come into play here. I mean, a track like this, you know the groove's really not going to move no matter what, but it's cool to see at least it's probably altered maybe some of the grip in this groove to make it where it's a little more challenging.
Yeah, but you've seen these guys move up just a little bit through the center of these corners, so.
Or down, if you're Peter Shore.
Yeah, those yellow rumble strips might be black by the end of this one.
I'd say if more people did it, I'm sure it would push rubber down there like we see in some of the road events. Just not enough guys running down there to actually move the rubber, probably.
Peter Shore's fucking on both sides of the track now.
Sometimes you just gotta hook it, Matt.
Gonna try to peak maybe under Chuck Sweeting here in the backstretch. A nice run.
Couldn't get enough power down though to make that stick. Definitely getting a better run through the center there, just nowhere to go with it.
And he's gonna get loose up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the bad things about a short track. Sometimes you just have nowhere to go with all that momentum as you hit the guy.
I was gonna say some people would just say see you later, but these guys race really cleanly together and quite frequently. So.
Brad Keselowski. Of course, all that forward bite with him. You know, so.
Bill Burr.
Bucket of oats, he's ready to go. I'm sure Peter will try and regroup here and reel him back in. Surprised Chuck maybe hasn't tried that groove down there. You know, you see it working, so maybe change up your line just a little bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, Chuck's where Peter wants to be coming off the corner.
True.
That's, you know, so if I'm Chuck, why change what I'm doing?
I don't know, maybe you'll run faster. Cameron was a little bit quicker than these two last lap, but you're going to need more than that to catch him. Got Richard Hines making a move on Rusty Webb there. Both these cars, well, not for position, as Richard Hines is 2 laps down. Most of the guys that took the wave around are looking pretty decent. Got Corey Lindsey P9, Chad Brown P10. You got Race Clark who's at the pit. He's still he's ahead of him on track, but not position-wise. He's still sitting in P12, so that may come back to haunt him there.
Right up on Chuck there, that corner again. Might have a good run. He didn't get the power down enough again.
He's going to have to time it better where he doesn't get such a mega run right in the center. He needs it where he can roll it in and then get the power from center off and not get bogged down, as he's going to go way down this time.
The lowest he's ever gone.
A little loose on exit, though.
might give him a good shot here to time it here in 3, though.
Chuck slid up just a little bit.
It's great to watch these two duke it out too, because you can see they're pretty well dead even most places.
And once again, Cameron's still quicker than these two, but just not enough.
Well, Peter almost had the nose down there, got a little bit loose again off of turn 2.
Oh my
Gosh.
How long is he gonna wait for you?
I know.
Push the bumper to him. One of those where you're like, come on, man.
Actually, I never thought I'd say this, but I actually think Chuck's holding this guy up.
I believe he is. His pace is not quite that of Peter, and Cameron's reeling him in. So
Did you know Chuck?
I was gonna say, especially at 3 and 4, it looks like Chuck's struggling a little bit compared to Peter.
Yeah. But you know, Chuck, if you're in Chuck's position right now, you can't roll over and give it to this guy, even though he is in the playoffs. You've led most of this race. You want to bring home the checkered flag.
Yeah, I mean, catching a lot of people are faster sometimes, but you gotta have enough racecraft to get around them. So we'll see if he can manage to get by Chuck. He's gonna have to wait for the pit stops, maybe, to cycle through. Man, he's right there, though.
And meanwhile, Cameron's slowly creeping into the picture.
I think he's hoping these guys will go side by side, because that's gonna bring them right back into it.
As clean as these guys race each other, you gotta believe Peter has to make a move at some point. But when do you decide to?
If you can't get by him on track, as he flips the rubber strips, pretty good that time. Gonna lose some time. You're gonna have to wait for that pit window to open, but maybe short pit Chuck here to get around him. You can't do it on track. Sometimes you gotta do it in the pits.
Well, after lap probably 140, you'd be safe on fuel, but you don't want to stretch the tires out that long, do you?
You'll have to kind of take that gamble. I think a caution would be your biggest worry.
Lap 100, if I was Peter, I'd pit on lap 148.
Guessing they were hoping they could go longer on this one, though, because we had that caution that pushed out. They just have a fresh set of tires from like 112, I think, so it could have pushed you into the 160, so you didn't have to run a whole 50 laps on this final stint. But if you can't get around Chuck, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and pit early. At least I would. That's a strategy, maybe. God, 3 and 4, he is just right there.
This is some of the cleanest and hardest racing I've seen for a long while.
Maybe one of those bumper cams that probably get knocked off.
Without a doubt. Oh, we should have the run here, though, going down the back.
Yeah, good run.
Close.
Backed out of
Let's
a
try
little
it,
bit.
though.
Nope.
Should
Chuck
Chuck's
let him.
gonna tie
Yep.
back in, maybe a dry off. No, not gonna get the power down.
got a new leader.
It's
33.
sideways.
Good pass. That was an excellent pass.
Now, a lot of guys would probably have moved Chuck up out of the way when he couldn't get by, but Peter Short waited the perfect opportunity to strike and strike cleanly.
Yep, some solid, hard racing from those two fellas. Got a feeling it's not over yet, though.
I don't think so.
So now for your Chuck, do you deviate from your plan and short pit a little bit?
Possibly. I mean, why not? Chuck has nothing to lose. He's no playoff. He doesn't care about if the caution comes out or anything. He's just here for the win. So why not gamble?
That car skating around a little bit. Cameron Rich is right there too.
That little battle,
Oh.
Chuck's a little sideways there. Battle has definitely let Cameron catch up to Chuck here.
That was probably the hardest Chuck raced, like, flat out for so many laps. As he usually gapped himself out quite pretty good and then kind of maintained the gap.
Yeah, he couldn't set any kind of pace there. He just had to keep pedaling.
Yeah.
His
Only
pedals
pace
are a
was-
little tired.
The only pace was wide open.
I believe the first guys we're going to see pit, though, are probably those guys that took the wave around, because they're going to be the shortest fuel and Tyrese.
Oh, a little housekeeping note there too. The 63 Mike Stevens pulled it behind the wall for the event.
Yeah, not a rough night for Mike there. Didn't have quite the pace he was looking for. Just not it's not the same car we saw earlier with that 26, guys. It just looks like 3 and 4. He just cannot get that car to turn. Seems to be wowing it up big time in the center.
It could be that rubber that was being laid down. We talked about it.
Could be, maybe.
Yeah. Peter's almost opened up a second gap over Chuck. And Cameron Rich is right there all over the back bumper of Chuck Sweeting.
I think Cameron wants to get by in a hurry too, because he's been pretty quick. I don't know if he can catch Peter again, but he's been right there with him. Another guy who's snuck up here in the top 5, Drew Eisman, P4. So right now you've got Eisentech 1, 3, and 4.
Cam's gonna try to make that a 1, 2, and 4.
Keep it up. Drew might even get a piece of this. It's a pretty
Man, these guys
strong
are-
statement there.
Yeah, these guys are sawing on that thing up off the corners.
I believe they've driven the good off the tires now.
Yeah, we might be down close to the cords by now. Or they might be on fire by the time they come down pit lane.
This is a good year. You can't drive it to the cords. It'll blow out first.
You can't even drive it for an extended period of time.
Like 0.5 over a second or something.
Yeah. I miss the times when we had light years on iRacing.
All right, let's see what's gonna happen here coming to lap 148.
I think these guys will be coming down soon. Well, actually, they might. I can't call it. I don't know what I would do in that position.
I mean, if you're Chuck, I think you need to pit because you're obviously struggling. So
Yeah,
maybe roll the
Yeah.
dice.
he's been pitting every 50 laps. You just wonder if he's a little early.
Someone's blowing up down the back stretch. So Paul Ross blowing up. So the night he was looking for.
That's unfortunate. He had a rough time there with the event after that contact with the wall and never could really recuperate from it.
This is a tough track to get out of the way too, because there's nowhere to hide in the corners.
No,
You
yeah.
have to roll the bottom and say, "Please go around me." As Cameron makes the move on Chuck in turn 1. Looks like he's gonna try and get it done. Chuck, a little sideways up off there.
This is fantastic racing.
If I'm Chuck, I pit.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him duck in here. I wouldn't call it out either.
Nope, you just drop in.
And hope that nobody else notices that you dropped in.
Right.
know the two in front
Oh,
of
you know they're gonna notice, but you
Yeah.
just get a jump on them
Hey, haha.
because this would definitely keep in what Chuck's been doing, pitting every 50 laps. So we'll see if he decides to drop in here.
We got Levi Zielinski machine on pit lane, so he's taking the early strategy here.
Another guy, he has nothing to lose, not a playoff contender, so he can maybe see if he can sneak in and gain some time on these leaders.
So Rusty Webb also on pit lane. Chuck still staying out with him.
Yeah, he stayed out.
That's got to suck for Chuck, though. He's been leading
He's
the
coming.
entire race.
Here comes Chuck. Chuck's down pit road. 50 laps to go. 49.
It's right on the number.
Right on the number.
So now, I mean, Cameron and Peter have to respond. So
Yeah, they have to come in this time for sure.
yep.
Yep.
Peter
Here
did.
comes the 33.
I would say the 17 has to follow.
Chuck was good on pit road, good into his box. Let's see how he gets out.
Comes the two Eisentech teammates as Cameron's going to bring her in as high as he can.
Good clean exit for Chuck.
Now, let's hope for no speeding penalties from these folks.
Got Race Clark coming in pit lane.
Drew Eisenman's about to come in.
Kevin Finn coming in.
It's going to cycle pretty quickly here.
Peter on and off. Where's Chucker? Chuck's through 1 and 2.
Yep.
Coming at 2.
Peter and Cameron's going to get out in front of Chuck.
Good pit stop from Peter Short, though. Really put some distance on Chuck there. And
Cameron. Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky, though. You get that lucky racing pit stop, too, that helps you out. Or hurt you.
So it looks like it will cycle Peter back to the lead. Gained a little bit on Cameron there in second, and looks like Chuck will cycle out to third. Although Chuck did gain a little bit on Cameron Rich.
Yeah, looked like when Cameron got around Chuck, he didn't really pull away from him as Sam Close just hip checks the 77 on Drew Eisman. Gonna let him back by, though. It's pretty classy.
Chuck's been, Drew's been used up by that 5 a couple of times here. I believe both were totally unintentional, however.
The back end of that 5, you can tell that both rear quarter panels have been caved in on it, so he's been in some melee. I was going to say that was going to be a battle, but I guess that kind of solved itself.
And Sam Close is the defending champion here in the Coulthard Air Cup Series, so he's going to try to go back-to-back with his titles, and he's put on a pretty strong performance here this evening.
Yeah, remember, you don't have to win tonight. You just don't want to be the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Which would, right now, who would that be? That'd be Paul Ross, Brent Miller, and Richard Hines.
Yep.
So Paul Ross going to have some work to do next 2 rounds.
Yeah, he's almost going to have to hope for a win.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough to do next week if we got Watkins Glen. So.
You saw how Peter Short is there on the road courses. I noticed no Matt Hackathorn here tonight. Not in the playoffs, but always just saw he was running very solid running into the playoffs and almost actually won his way into her.
Yeah, he was on a steady march there. Not sure he had some work stuff to do tonight as Corey Lindsay got back around Johnny Thomas. That seems to be the race-long battle here for... I don't think Johnny Thomas has pitted yet, though, has he? No, he has not. So that was to get back on the lead lap for Corey Lindsay.
And Johnny, again, is hoping for a caution.
It worked for his teammate last night, so... You never know.
Anybody out there in chat land wants to put their 2 cents in, you're more than welcome. We're enjoying this fantastic racing put on right now here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Man, that 33, I swear, he is just driving the wheels off that thing.
I think if that was me in the car, I would need a change of clothes after this race. It'd be kind of gamey by the end of it.
How would you have your headband on and stop the sweat? So.
Oh, God.
That's a Thursday throwback.
I'm telling you, the race has definitely worked out in Peter's favor. He started in the back, made his way up, made a lot of positions up under green, and he got that caution that allowed him to catch back up, and he capitalized on it for sure.
I think it's crazy how many positions he made up before he got that caution. I mean, he was already in, what, third or fourth before that happened, so that's pretty impressive.
Johnny Thomas still out on track. Looking for pit road soon.
He can run a little bit longer, but not much longer.
Still praying for the yellow to fly here, but based on previous trends of this race, I don't think that it will.
Yeah, with the lack of cars running now and the gaps in between most of them, it's pretty unlikely you're getting a yellow. So Larry McReynolds trends a race there.
Right.
Oh, somebody slapped the wall a little bit there. Might have been Chuckles. Just tagged it. Made sure it was still there. No harm, no foul.
It's like the iTape machine, right? And that's what you do when the computer's not running good. You just smack it real good.
I tend
just-
to.
You just smack the side of your car and it'll run better. Or it'll just restart endlessly. So.
Check it in the chat here. Derek Parton says, great broadcast, guys. Keep up the good work. Thanks, buddy. We're doing the best we can here, but it's not hard when we have a race this good, to be honest.
Got Johnny Thomas on pit lane. We'll see if he's going to cycle through. Probably going to lose a fair amount of time staying out that long.
We won't go down a lap, though, because we saw Luis Almaso do the same thing.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good gap over Peter Short there. Be around, let's say probably 2.5 seconds, maybe 3.
Yeah, and he should be able to gap it here, too, because he's got the freshest tires.
I believe that'll put him chasing down his race-long rival, Corey Lindsey. Imagine that.
I have never.
And just to check in on Race Clark, Matt, remember he pitted under that caution instead of taking the wave around? P13,
Yeah.
still a lap down.
That sucks to see for Race, because you know how good he did here last year. He's probably trying to recreate that, maybe with a little bit better of a finish.
Need to get Danica a better race engineer.
Meanwhile, you got Kevin Finn in the 14 trying to put a little pressure on Sam Close for the top 5 there.
Kevin's turning up the wick here at the end, trying to make sure he claims that top 5. Every point could prove crucial here with the playoffs looming over your head here. Peters hit the afterburner there, had me 2.8 last lap, see what it is this lap. Lost a tenth, but still 2.7. Let's stretch it out there on Cameron and Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck's actually lost quite a bit from Peter there. He's, what, 3.5 seconds back.
Yeah, I'd be. Hopefully, he can finish on the podium. We can get that interview. I'm curious to see what's changed in his car. If the track's changed that much, or he just can't get back in his rhythm or something. Can't blame a set of tires because you've got a tire change now. So. Which he should still be able to the podium. He's got quite the gap back in the eyes. So. Unless something drastic happens.
Any unforeseen shenanigans?
Looks like
Both.
Kevin Finn was unsuccessful to get around Sam Close there.
And our pole sitter, Levi Zielinski, there sitting P7, so not too terrible for him. You know, he wanted to come out of here with a victory because he was so strong, but I think he's should be quite content there. He might actually be able to gain a couple more spots. He's not terribly far away from the top 5, really.
Well, you mentioned it too. I think just putting the whole race together is big for him because he hasn't been able to do that this season. So I know we got a pole and that shows speed, but it's nice to actually get to the finish in one of these races to say, hey, look, I finished one. I can complete these things.
Yeah, that's very true.
Hashtag baby steps.
Building blocks.
Oh, God.
Chuck's starting to gain right now on Mr. Cameron Rich. A 10th quicker that time by, and he's sucked right up to his back bumper, running a little bit higher than conventionally.
Found his groove, maybe. Knocked some rubber off the tires there.
You know, Cameron's going to claw to keep that second place at least.
This is pretty much the only battle on track right now. Closest battle, at least.
It's incredible to see these cars dancing up off the corners, but they're still keeping the straight line speed that they need.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. They must just look looser than they are, because there's no way. Those guys are... Chuck's going to hit the wall right there, but these guys are sawing on it. Maybe that's why it's hard, man.
Oh, on board here with Mr. Cameron Rich, see if he's actually cutting it a lot. See here in turn 3.
There's not a whole lot to cut in 3, otherwise you're going to end up in the grass.
No, yeah. I'll see what he does up off here. This is where he usually got into the shenanigans.
Don't
Not
wanna be
as
a
drastic.
Hamlin, so.
No. Not as drastic as I pictured it would be.
No one's really cut it as much as Peter has all night, so that might be one of his secrets to the race here.
Speaking of race, Wes Clark has gained his way up to 12th. I think he was 13th before it was known. No. He lost a spot, didn't he?
No, he was, I believe he got around Nick Miller, because Nick is
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the next battle that should be hotting up is Johnny Thomas, Corey Lindsay.
I don't think they've been racing with each other at all this race, have they?
I don't believe they've seen each other in one lap. So.
Again, these guys racing each other very clean and patient.
Shouldn't be a hard pass for Johnny Thomas, as he pitted much later than Corey Lindsay, but still, catching him's one thing, passing him's another.
There might not be very much give and take from these fellas either, because we are about 25 laps to go here as Peter Short's going to take us there.
Johnny's going to make the move here. Try and get underneath Corey Lindsay into 3. I don't think Corey's going to fight him too hard.
Might try the crossover here, though. Corey can get back. No, he can't.
I got a feeling he looked in his mirror, too, and decided, probably don't want to race too hard because Peter Short's right behind us, so we won't lose too much time to him. You're going to get lapped regardless, probably, but... Yeah, once again, Peter just one of the only cars still cutting down on the rumble strips. So.
Well, we have a battle right now. Chuck Sweeting is all but caught up to the back end of that 17 as he loses a little bit, of course, as I say it. The dreaded jinx is still upon us.
Man, he sailed that thing into turn 1.
He's getting it wound down pretty decently, though.
Yeah, you can just tell the aero balance in these cars looks a little sketchy because it's some in the corner and you just kind of seem to tiptoe with it just a little bit.
Chuck has a nice run there. He might get a little bit loose.
We saw with Peter earlier, Matt, look how long it took him to get around Chuck, so I'm sure Chuck's going to probably take just as long to get around Cameron if Cameron doesn't make a mistake in front of him. Not just a simple turn to the left and pass kind of move.
No, yeah, exactly.
Insert NASCAR fan, non-NASCAR fan comment. Why don't you just pass the guy? Just go faster. Why don't you just go faster? believe if he's gonna make the move on camera, though, he's gonna have to all but dive bomb into the corner to kind of get him up out of the way.
Yeah, without a doubt, because it's not going to be a camera again, not going to roll over. None of these guys are going to roll over now as we're inside 20 laps to go. And Peter Short makes his way by Corey Lindsay. It's for the 9th car lap. They only have 8 cars in the lead lap. Ooh, Cameron's wicked loose. And again, does not lose any time.
It's that forward traction control, you know. Ford, drive one today.
You probably don't want to, though. But...
No.
Take my Geo Metro and take it to the bank as Chuck looks low here on the 17th. So if we can get in there, he does get there. A drag race on the start on the front straight. Wow, sideways.
Who needs grip?
Cameron's gonna hold him tight here. Might be able to get the run.
He's trying the undercut.
Yep. Chuck's like, man, all that work and it's all for naught.
He just screams, son of a...
Chuck might be able to do the same to Cameron here, though. We'll see.
Only
Chuck backed way off.
Chuck was he didn't really hold Cameron tight there.
Yeah. Ooh, and they both again wiggle off.
I'd be curious to see the tire sheets on some of these cars when they're done, because these tires have got to be worn.
I would venture to say close to the 70% level.
I was gonna say more like 50, but okay.
Oh God, that's about the spot where I blew a tire. And ladies and gentlemen, we have lost Trey Landry.
He's probably in the back, in the toy section at Kmart.
The power on his side of the studio left the building.
We're still winding down the laps here. We've got, who's that, Levi that's stuck in some lap traffic there, trying to pick his way through.
Well, that's a gaggle as well.
Gonna clear those fellers. Looks like must have missed that one. Kevin Finn did get around Sam Close and moved Kevin Finn to P5.
Somebody.
Zelensky went for a little, all that work getting around all those lap cars, and he's gonna lose all that position again because he got a little out of shape down the back stretch.
Mowed a little bit of the lawn too. Yeah, that is frustrating. Now he's gonna try to make quick work of these folks up here now.
I believe I'd let the 9 do the dirty work for me because I believe he has the freshest tires.
Oh, and he hit the 88 around the 97.
And the 97 hard
to the inside wall. No caution. Now they're caution.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There it is.
What's happening here?
Race Clark got a piece of that.
Peter Short got into it. No. Our leader.
Blowing up. Wow. Oh, the 80. Was that the 89?
Was rolling down the track.
I think he was trying to get out of the way, and Peter had already committed to go low.
And wow. I saw, oh, Race Clark, another playoff contender involved, I believe with the 89 as well. Not as bad as Peter, though, but oh, no.
Yeah, I think that actually, yeah. Well, it didn't really send the 89 back down the hill, but definitely that's a hard hit for the 22 as well. So 2 of the Eisentech cars destroyed there.
That's just unfortunate.
That was, just turned this race upside down.
Oh, Rusty Webb, what happened there? Look, he got loose coming up off the corner. The 9 tagged him a little bit, but I thought the 9 got into him. That was not the case. Levi Zelensky done, Peter Short done, Brent Miller done. And what happened there, I was watching Zelensky's camera, and I saw the 33 come flying, and I said, no, he didn't.
Smoking cars coming down Pelly. That's gonna put Cameron Rich in the catbird seat.
That is. Peter Short's not going to make it back out, I don't think.
No, that's gonna be some major repair.
Cameron Rich, Chuck Sweeting down pit lane, Sam Close. This is going to open up a whole new can of worms.
Oh, that's why they say they're never over till they're over. So he's gonna get the win off of pit lane here. So I'm gonna give him the nod to Cameron. Yeah, that was pretty close. Puts Drew Eisman up to P3.
Yeah.
Kevin Finn up to P4. Should be Sam Close P5. That just, wow, that was intense.
So Peter Short will still be on the inside of the cutoff line, I believe. No, he won't, because both Richard Hines and Brent Miller are going to pass him. He's going to be in pretty poor shape here.
Well, he had, what, 7-8 points over those guys?
That's correct. I
So-
forgot about the bonus points.
We'll see
Not
how
gonna
that
be-
works out.
A benefit for sure.
No, it's you went from being a guaranteed lock to DNF'd within 15 laps of the race ending. So
Yeah.
not great. I'm
Fortunate for him, though, we're going to Watkins
Yeah.
Glen next
I
week.
wouldn't hit the panic button yet, but that
No.
that's gonna be a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, that would be.
Had the race
Not
won.
gonna lie, he was quite nice on the radio. I would have been probably wanting to string somebody up after that one.
Well, Matt, that's why you have public comments you make, and then that's why you have
My
your
private
TeamSpeak
comment.
channel where you can yell at your teammates and be like, "What the?"
I usually do the combination of the two.
I mean, that's some Kyle Petty Infineon comments there. Like,
Yeah.
what the? But hey, we still got a finish to call here. I mean, this is not over by any stretch.
I'm gonna close my eyes on this one because I think she's gonna get dirty now.
Cameron and Chuck raced clean all night.
Yeah, not between
I don't-
them, but anybody else trying to gain some spots here, because this is your last chance. We hope.
I mean, yeah, you could see someone like Drew maybe sailing in, trying to get those valuable, get a win here, not have to worry about it.
And he dumped a
Kevin.
teammate here last year for the win. So
Kevin Finn finally, he's been lurking all night. Sam
I'm
Close
just
his
real-
card. He looks like it's been to Martinsville. So
yeah, I'm just real upset right now for Peter Short. That's just very disheartening.
how about Johnny Thomas back in the top 10? I mean, top
That's-
6, almost
yeah.
top 5.
Corey Lindsay back in the
Lindsay.
fight. Race Clark did take the wave around this time. He's one of the guys that's gonna hope for another caution, because that might end it. But a few guys up front to wreck so we can gain some spots.
All right, Bert's gonna head back down pit lane, head it over to Cameron Ridge, see if we can do final 10 laps clean and green. And he's
You're gone.
Good countdown. He's gonna hang Chuck out.
Drew Eisman should be able to make that move quite easily. Kevin Finn might actually be able to get up in there too.
Just once again, that 40, we've seen it with 14 all night, just doesn't use all the track. It's gonna hurt him.
Chuck Sales are in there now. This is gonna be a 3-horse race, maybe 4 if Kevin can maximize potential.
26 is
26 is
sideways.
sideways. Nice save, and he didn't hook it back into the field. Take notes.
Man, that was evil. That car didn't settle at all through 3 and 4.
No, it did not. But Drew Eisman's right there now.
Hey, bud. Remember me?
I'm your team owner. I want to continue throughout this playoffs. You pull over, okay?
Multi 2-1, multi 2.
I would say maybe the only saving grace for Peter's sanity right now would be a Eisentech car winning, but I don't think he'd
I
be.
don't think that matters at this point.
No, I don't think that would even help a little bit. Chuck Sweeting ran out of the top 3 all night, fell back right now to P4. So your top 3 right now are all playoff contending drivers.
Funny how that works, right? We started the race off with non-playoff drivers in the front row, and then now we've got all playoff drivers in the top 3. So Chuck's gonna have a hard time here, and I'm sure that did not help the tires. I mean, he's gonna have his work cut out to get back by the 14. Or just the 14 to start with. I don't even know if he can get back to the 77.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard road to hoe for sure. Road to hoe. Oh, he gets loose again. Not as bad as the first time. 6 laps to go here this time.
Looks like Cameron's just taking her nice and easy there, trying not to run too far out of shape.
Oh, Kevin Finn made a little bit of a mistake there, I think, and Chuckson gave him a little bit of a chrome horn. Didn't hurt him any, though.
I think Peter Short finally joined us in chat there, Matt. That's maybe the anger you're looking at. He typed in all caps.
Yeah,
that's aggressive.
He's a lot less aggressive than I would be, and yeah, that's awful, Peter. So hopefully you can. Well, we know you'll be able to rebound next week at Watkins Glen, but could have had 2 in a row as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cameron was loose up off of turn 4. 4 laps to go. It's gonna be a drag race between the Eisentech boys.
Oh man, this is. I mean, you own the car in front of you, so it's like if I hit you, you can be mad, but
You can't crucify.
I don't. He's gonna have to be closer than that though to make the move. If you hit him from that far back, it's gonna be a pretty hard hit. That would open the door for Kevin if you hit him from that far back. I think.
Yeah, I would say.
It's like a Robbie Gordon kind of hit.
3 laps to go as we're cycling through turn 1 and 2. Drew can get a good run. He loses a little bit there, I think.
We didn't even use our problems tonight, Matt, when we had problems.
No, we did not.
2 to go. Looks like he's stretching on Drew a little bit now. Looks like Johnny Thomas is going to get the best of Corey Lindsay after the race-long slugfest there.
Oh, Cameron missed that corner. Drew Eisman's going to look low. They're both
77
on
side.
it. White flag this time.
Boys, gotta make it
Don't-
exciting.
Don't do that again is what Cameron's thinking in his mind right now. Got lucky on that one.
If you throw one away after this, I don't know if you can live with yourself.
Oh, but Drew is kind of in striking distance of Kid. Maybe a
That's
stretch.
gonna have to settle in there.
He tried everything he could there, but Cameron Rich will be able to hold him off here off of corner number 4.
Your winner, playoff race number 1, Cameron Rich, in a surprise fashion.
Back here, I believe Kevin Finn finished 3rd.
Yes, they did.
Chuck Sweeting settled into 4th, and Sam Close, who you said his car looks like it's been to Martinsville, rounds out the top 5 for this event. That was something.
That ending kind of turned it all around as Chad Brown came back to a top 10. Rusty Webb, we saw was the root of that major caution, came home in the top 10. And Race Clark somehow managed to claw back to a 10th place finish.
That's a good finish for Race because he was looking in pretty poor shape there.
Yeah, he needed those points.
Yeah, so those definitely help him. And you watch Mr. Cameron Rich do some. Nope.
Nope, they're pulling into pit lane. He's too classy for burnout.
I'm like Ryan Blaney. Yeah, I was thinking. But
Well, what do you say we make the jump and get some interviews started as Danica just killed the pit wall?
boom, just like that. We're back in black.
Shakalaka. Let's see, who are we looking for? P3, Mr. Kevin Finn.
2 nights in a row we got him.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. 2 nights in a row. Kevin, back to the podium here with a P3 finish tonight. Saw you kind of hang around the top 5, top 10 all night. How was the track conditions for you tonight?
Man, they were slick, but I didn't expect to be here again for the second night in a row. But hey, I'll take the points. But yeah, it was real slick. You had to pretty much back up your corners. It felt like a flat Dover out here tonight, and it was a fun race. I don't know what happened to Peter there, but we'll take the third place points.
Now, Kevin, did you... I'm not going to tell you what happened to Peter. I'll let somebody else do that. But did you find that the track changed quite a bit from the start of it to the end of it? Because we saw the rubber groove there at the bottom really fill in quite a bit. So did you notice it was a little bit slicker, a little bit tighter, or anything down there?
I feel like I was moving through the corner, sliding through the corner a little bit more during halfway through the race. The top line started to come in, so I started to use that to my advantage, but getting off turn 4 was real tricky. Turning right, getting off of turn 4, and yeah, it was definitely changing throughout, but it was tough to manage.
Well, Kevin, obviously, P3, solid way to start out the playoffs. You know the deal by now. Give us those shout-outs.
Shout out to 3 Wide, my team, Avon Racing, and Cold Hard Art for sponsoring our series, and you guys who see our TV.
Alrighty, folks, there's your P3 finisher. Kevin the Flying Finn looking to build on this third place and carry that momentum into Watkins Glen next week.
Thank you, guys.
Don't remember where I pulled him from, but he's going to go back there.
That was the best.
Let's see,
How'd you get here?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I pulled him from. Let's grab Mr. Drew Eisman here. All right, folks, got your surprise P2 finisher tonight. Was looking for a solid top 5, but got handed a couple spots there at the end. Drew, tell us about your night there, bud, and the almost a win you kind of stole there at the end as Cameron botched turn 3 with about, what was it, 2 to go, man?
2 to go, yeah.
Yeah, right. Coming to take the white flag, so yeah, 2 to go. Yeah, I overdrove that corner too. So I probably would have been able to get underneath them and get a decent drive off. But kept the fenders relatively clean. Sam and I got into a couple tussles out there, but it's just hard racing. I know who the type of driver Sam is, and I know it wasn't intentional. I thought my car was toast after the pit stop with 50 to go. On cold tires, he just bombed it in the corner and slid up and crushed my left front fender. And somehow the car was okay. I only got like a second and a half of damage from it. But other than that, I mean, fairly uneventful. Yeah, I had a 4th probably place car. I thought I was a little quicker than Sam. Wasn't in the same league over a long run with Cameron and Peter and even Chuck. So second place is a solid result. Gonna try to keep it nice and civilized, but it's a shame what happened to Peter because he deserved this win.
On kind of that idea there, Drew, you being a team owner here, being all 4 of your cars right now, I think are sitting in a pretty decent spot in points. Peter had his unfortunate incident, but going into Watkins Glen, we know Peter's strong in the road courses, so there's no doubt in my mind he'll be able to rebound from that. Do you think you'll be able to get all 4 cars into round number 2 of these playoffs?
I don't know where Peter finished. I mean, he's the odds-on favorite to win there. I don't think there's any question about that, unless somebody throws a ringer in one of the chartered cars, because we're not doing unchartered drivers. So I expect Peter to be really strong there. His regular season performance and the amount of wins that he has, even with a rough night tonight, a bunch of other guys in the chase had rough nights. So he's still looking just fine to move on. Definitely more of an uphill battle than he wanted. Race, I know he kind of got in that deal as well. I'm not sure where he is in points. And then obviously Cameron's locked in, and a P2 is about as good as I thought way better than I thought I could have finished with my practice form, barely in the top 10, if that. So that's definitely something we're going to try to do. Any legal way, obviously, because we're not going to do any of the Michael Waltrip shenanigans that we can do to help Peter out. We're going to try to do that. Yeah, it will definitely jet fuel, soak tires. We're going to wreck every other car out there besides Peter. No, I'm kidding. but yeah, just trying to keep him, informed of who's what's going on around him. Same thing with race. I think that's Cameron's and I's priority. So yeah, we definitely want to all move through this round for sure.
All right, well, Drew, before we let you go, solid P2 effort tonight. Give us those shout-outs.
Yeah, thanks to Cold Heart Art. They do an awesome job. Check it out if you haven't yet. And then thanks to Corey. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to my awesome teammates. And again, trying to keep it civilized, but I really, really hope that this situation lets us reevaluate who's in the Cup Series and who's not, because it's the same people every week and we need to fix it.
Alrighty, you heard it from the owner of Eisentech there. Your P2 finisher, Drew Eisman. What do you say we grab the winner, Matt?
Who's the winner guy? I'm the winner guy. Not actually.
No, he's the winner guy. Winner, chicken dinner, Cameron Rich. I'm pretty sure you didn't think you were going to be there with, 15 to go? But definitely gave us a scare with 2 to go. Tell us about your night there, bud.
I think now is the perfect time to break out that quote of being lucky rather than good. But my objective for tonight was when I got behind the 26 just to try to out Chuck, and I was riding behind him most of the race. I think that's what it felt like. I had a lot of that Toyota up in my windshield, and I was trying to just, not try to go balls deep and go for the win on lap 10 and, do something stupid, but I just wanted to keep him in my sights. And there at the end, I don't know what the hell the 33 did. He got really fast and kind of left us both in the dust. I think he was running the apron in 1 and 2 or something. But yeah, no, I didn't. I pretty much had conceded myself to either finishing second or third with 20 to go or so, and I hate it for Peter. Like I can't believe that happened. I just don't get what the point of ruining people's races with like almost 10 to go is.
Well, Cameron, with you being locked into the playoffs now for this round anyway, what's your outlook for the next couple races here? Because we're going to the Glen next week.
I feel good. I feel good about Watkins Glen and Chicago. I don't know. It could go anyway. I was really hoping to get myself locked into the next round because Talladega. Yeah.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Just turn left and go fast.
If you can see the air, you're fine.
Yeah. There's no brainer, right? But no, I hope. I just it takes a lot of pressure off the next 2 races, but it doesn't take the will to win away. So I'm gonna try to get as many wins as I can, and just I don't know. Let's see what happens. Really, the next round is really the one I'm worried about. But I'm hoping I can do good at Dover and Martinsville, so I don't have to, go into Talladega with a little bit of sweat on my forehead.
Well, that wouldn't be fun for us. So just joking. I'm sure you'll do fine. Before we let you go, how about you give us those shout-outs tonight?
Well, first I got to shout out to my teammate Drew for not wrecking me or something in turn 3 because I completely forgot where the corner was with 2 to go, and I don't know what the hell I was doing. Maybe I need to learn how to NASCAR or something. But I got to thank Tom at Cold Heart Art for, of course, sponsoring our series so we can do this every week, and Chuck for being really, really fast so I can follow him and learn some stuff maybe for the next couple weeks and get better, and just you guys for watching us race these virtual race cars. And I got to thank my girlfriend. She's here, so give her a shout out, and for being the number 1 OCR fan.
Woo!
You have one
All right.
fan.
Well, yeah, she's our one and only fan. All right, folks, there is your winner tonight. Your winner chicken dinner, Cameron Rich. Look forward to seeing how you do the rest of the playoffs there, Cameron.
Thanks, guys.
And I'm sure at this point the producer will say the results are running on the screen, so you can see what your favorite playoff driver finished tonight. And remember, their names are in blue, so you can look pretty low for some of those guys tonight. As a few guys got some work to do after a rough outing tonight there, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see them guys turn it around here. We have some decent races coming up. I mean, the road course might throw people for a loop, but, shouldn't be too bad.
Nah, Watkins Glen, I think it's a common road course for everyone to know.
Yeah, that's not many NASCAR fan that they've been running that same course for probably years now with all the terrible games put out by EA Sports.
Wow, an EA Sports reference. We got it all in tonight. I was just stalling to make sure I had the time right. Yeah, next week we'll be at Watkins Glen and Mid-Ohio for the A and B series, respectively. But before then, Wednesday, we have the Scars season finale, where you'll get to hear our lovely producer, Wendell James, commentate the Ferraris around Sebring Raceway. So be sure to tune in for that around... What time do you guys go live? Like 8:59-ish p.m.? So be sure to tune in for that. But until then, Matt, tell them what they can do.
Well, we get to go home.